Sav, what do you make of that when he says he doesn't respect Tottenham yet? I'll hand it over to you. I'll hand it over to you because I know this is part of the reason you want to come on today because I know it's kind of getting under your skin a little bit with the way Husam's talking about Tottenham.
Do you know what? I'm going to call it for what it is. Now, listen, I don't know Husam. I don't think me and you have ever spoken before, right? So this isn't anything personal. I don't know him. But Husam, for me, is a 2023 football fan. If ever I've seen football fans in 2023 who are, I call them the Rory Jennings of this world. Everything Husam says is for clicks, for likes, for clickbait. He hasn't actually got any structure or any sensibility to anything that he actually says. Anything that comes out of this guy's mouth is clickbait. In the last month.
So why you call me out then if I'm clickbait?
I'll explain to you. Calm down 1 second.
So I'm clickbait, yet you called me out. So what does that make you then?
Well, not clickbait, because I seem to remember that you were actually invited onto my show after Liverpool failed to beat Spurs, after you'd been telling the world for a whole entire week that you were going to batter us, after telling everyone that we're no good, that Postecoglou, it's been new manager bounce. And then all of a sudden, it was like you were asked to come on my show by Perchie, if you remember, and your response was, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. It was like, okay, come on and talk about the game.
There was nothing to say about that game.
No, I get it. No, that's cool, but that kind of is what YouTube's about, right? Like you have a sound again.
Yeah, even when I done my match reaction, I just had an hour rant about the referees. What am I supposed to say about that game? That didn't disprove anything I said, by the way.
Okay, cool. So listen, the reason why I find it really funny, Terry, is you and I talked about this on Wednesday. Do I need justification from other football fans that my team is doing well? No. Do I find it really, really childish that people have to put their watch-alongs as hate-alongs when we're not even their rivals? We're not their rivals.
My thumbnail guy did that. I didn't ask him for it.
Hang on. It's like, get a grip. We're not your rival. You know, hate-alongs. I keep seeing these images that he puts up of league tables where we're top and there's an imposter in our ranks. And it's like, an imposter in your ranks. Now, listen, Terry, you know that I don't think Tottenham are winning a title. So this isn't about
so you agree with me then?
No, but there's a difference, Sam. You're a grown man talking about imposters. There's no imposters. You are where you are after 9 games. You're not an imposter. You are where you are after 9 games because, funnily enough, Man, you couldn't beat us. Arsenal couldn't beat us. Liverpool couldn't beat us. Yeah? We've played Fulham.
Couldn't beat you and the 3 other people as well. It was 11v14, 9v14. So it will be difficult to beat you for anything.
So, Sam, I'll go back to you. Remember
what you know what I find funny about this? After you called me out on your last show,
Sam,
you actually agreed with everything I said about your own club.
Sam, let me finish.
I don't get your energy is like, I actually agree with what he's saying, but he's clickbait.
Let me finish.
You just said Spurs won't win the league. You just said
Let me finish.
Hang on,
does that not make you
Sam, you have your right to reply in a minute. Let's have finished, and then we'll go to you. We'll go to you, brother. All right, go on, Sam.
There is a difference between me sitting there and saying Spurs won't win a league and acknowledging that, Jesus, what a good job Postecoglou has done in the space of 3 or 4 months. There was a difference then between people like Husam that come out with things like, they're imposters. They've not impressed me. I'll call out any football fan that has watched us play football this season that is seeing us top of the league after nearly a quarter of the season gone. After tonight will be more than a quarter of the season gone. To sit there and say, they've not done anything to impress. Was it impress your words or they've not done anything to impress me yet? Okay, let's call it for what it is, right? Let's call it for what it is. Grown-up football fans will turn around and go, you know what? I don't think Spurs are going to win it, but what a good job they've done. What a good start to the season they've had. They've been better than we thought. No one's been able to beat them. And I hear all sorts of things, Terry. I hear, oh, look who they've played. Well, we heard that before the Man United game and we beat them. We heard that before the Liverpool game. We beat them. We heard that about going to Arsenal and getting battered at Arsenal and we were the better team and should have beaten them. So, even as a level-headed fan, I'm not one of these fans going to come on your show and go, we're winning a league. But as a level-headed fan, I've got fans sitting there, 2023 football fans sitting there with hate-alongs for some reason about our club because they failed to beat us. The hate since they failed to beat us has been unbelievably childish, right? Grown men.
No hate.
Oh my God! Do you know what? I've got a reel of things that people in the Tottenham community have sent me since that they knew me and you were coming on. Of look what he said on his Twitter. Look what he said. It's just childish.
No problem. I could have sent you the same tweets too. What do you think? I haven't deleted them. They're still there.
Listen, I've got them right, and
yeah,
all I can see. Listen,
this is due to the behavior of your own fan base that you yourself call out.
Sure. But you know what?
Have you not called out Spurs fans nearly every show you've done here?
Huh?
Have you not called out delusional Spurs fans nearly every single Straight Facts show?
But listen.
So when I call out Spurs fans that are delusional, I'm the problem.
It's called a caveat. I'm going to teach you a word you probably don't know. It's called a caveat.
No, I know. Don't worry.
Right?
I speak
so
four
if you know what caveat is,
I don't need you to teach me English. Don't worry.
Okay. So if you know what
four
caveat
languages.
is,
How many languages do you speak? Who's condescending now? See, we can both play the
one language.
Yeah,
I need to speak one language.
You can't teach me anything. Don't worry.
Do you know
I'm
what
a well-educated man. I'm a chemical engineer.
Okay. Sorry, is this a football chat or you want to start talking about what you do for a living?
Is this an English chat or a football chat?
You're a chemical engineer. Right?
Yeah, is this an English chat or a football chat? Why try and teach me English?
Right. I'm going to tell you why. Because one, I don't like the lies. And I'm going to explain to you why. When I come on here and I tell Spurs fans to calm down and say that they're delusional because we're not winning a league, right? What I say is, right? But yeah, we're doing really well. We have impressed. We have started well. And we do deserve credit. What you do is you don't do what I do. So don't say, oh, I agree with Savva. We say the same thing. No, we don't. What you do is go, oh my God, imposters. I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
If you're not impressed, why has no one been able to beat us if you're not impressed? What is it that you've not been impressed about, but no one can figure out how to beat us?
Okay. First of all, everything that you just said about your delusional fan base, I've said. Just because it annoys you, the way I say stuff, that's not my fault.
That's not what I said.
You just said Spurs won't win the league. I called you imposters. Tomato. Same shit. I think Liverpool. I think 1 second. I didn't interrupt you. 1 second. Let me land so you'll get my point.
You didn't interrupt.
So with Liverpool, City, and Arsenal, I think these three teams are in the title race. Those are the three title race contenders. Okay. So if I call Spurs an imposter, or you say Spurs aren't going to win the league, we're not really saying different stuff. I'm just saying
we're saying very different things. Yes,
no,
we are.
One
yes,
second.
We are.
One
yes,
second.
We are.
I'm just. Can I speak? I'm just
you
saying
can,
it like an asshole. Okay, no problem. I'll make your life very easy. I'm saying it like an asshole, and you're just saying it like a Spurs fan. It's okay.
No,
I can say it like an asshole. I don't mind. I know I'm an asshole sometimes. It's okay. But when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur, the reason why they're an imposter is something I've already unpacked on Straight Facts and on the Terrace multiple times. I've already spoken about Tottenham Hotspur's fixtures this season. We've already unpacked it. I've already looked at context, because you guys like to take the stuff that I've said out of context. Yeah, I've called Spurs an imposter. And what? Your own words as a Spurs fan is, we're not going to win the league. Your own words as a Spurs fan is, hear me out, your own words as a Spurs fan is, I call out my delusional fan base. Yeah, the same fan base that came on here after the Fulham game. I was watching the Terrace. Big up that post-match video. Make sure to check it out if you haven't, where they were talking about winning the league. It had to take Kate, who's a long-time Spurs fan, to come up here and go like, yo, can we relax? Why are we talking about winning the league 9 games in? So when I talk about your delusional fan base, I'm just talking about the same people that you get upset at, that I'm angry at, because you're talking about me mentioning Spurs. They're the people in my mentions 24/7. Even if I tweet anything that has nothing to do with Spurs, they're in my mentions. Or you want a replay? Let me give you a perfect example, because you think this is a one-way street. Nothing in life is a one-way street.
No, stop telling me what I think. Stop telling me what I think.
Let me just give you a final point, and then you can respond.
Sure, but stop lying.
After the Konate incident this Saturday in the Merseyside derby, where the whole he should have been sent off thing happened, I had 76 notifications, all Spurs fans. So what you want me to just sit back, say nothing back? Spurs are imposters. They're not going to win the league. And what? Your fan base is delusional.
Not what I said. Do you know what I love about debating people like you, right? And people in the chat saying I'm rattled. I'm not rattled. I find this hilarious. I find it absolutely hilarious.
Clearly.
How you've got a Liverpool fan that, honestly, people send it to me. They're like, who's this Husam guy? This Husam guy. This Husam guy. All your posts since you didn't beat Tottenham. Do you know the problem is, Husam? You ran your mouth so much about how bad Tottenham are, about how you were going to batter us, and you didn't, did you? You didn't batter us at all. And the problem is, since then...
Are you talking about the robbery?
Listen, Husam, we could talk about a robbery all we want. We all know that decision was wrong. But just because that decision was wrong doesn't mean you would have won the game. That's not how life works.
I believe it would have.
Yeah, Husam, you believe you would have doesn't make it factual. I'm going to teach you something here. When you say I believe,
you can't teach me anything, Savva. You can't.
Right, Husam, when you say I believe,
don't worry about teaching me. Just tell me your opinion. I'll tell you my opinion.
Let me talk. When you say I believe, that doesn't make it factual.
Yeah,
right?
I know that.
I believe I'm going to win the lottery tonight. Doesn't make it factual.
I hope you do.
Me too. You believed you would have beaten us if that goal had gone in. Probabilities would say that you would have gone 1-0 up and had a better chance. But probability also tells you that we still had 11 versus 10 for an hour after that goal would have gone in. No one knows what would have happened. And this is the problem.
You couldn't break us down with 9 men, though.
Pardon?
So you're talking about probabilities. Why don't you talk about facts from that game? You couldn't break us down with 9 men. It took a Matip own goal in the 95th minute. So more than likely, we would have won the game. My opinion is not based on nothing.
Hang on. You've moved the needle very quickly there. You've moved the needle very quickly. We're not at that stage yet. We're talking about if that goal that was disallowed, every Tottenham fan in the world will sit here and say that should have been given. We all know it should have been given.
Yeah,
the rules are awful. Yeah. VAR is ridiculous. And so are the number of Liverpool fans coming out going, Spurs are cheats, like we had something to do with the decision, right? That goal should have been given. You should have been 1-0 up. Absolutely, you were robbed. The referee's shocking.
We agree again.
Is it not equally true that when there's 60 minutes left against 10 men, the probabilities show that we probably still would have come back in the game? Now, before you say about having 9 men...
The answer is no, based on factual evidence. No, based on the game itself, Savva.
You can't have factual evidence that didn't happen.
The evidence is the game itself. The evidence says, even against 9 men Liverpool, it took a 94th minute Matip own goal for you to win the game.
Sam, have you ever played football?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, to what level have you played?
High school level.
Okay, have you ever coached football?
No, I've never coached football.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something now, Sam. This is what I love about fans that feel.
This is another you're teaching me moment.
Do you know what?
Well, I've got my pen and paper here if you want to, to take
Sam,
notes.
You know, the problem is too many people when they say is I believe, I think this would have happened. This would have happened.
Am I not here to say my opinions?
Oh my gosh. Let me finish. Too many people that say I believe. Cool.
Yeah.
What people believe isn't always true, right? If anyone's ever coached, they will tell you, find any qualified coach. They will tell you one of the hardest things in football to do is to break down 9 or 10 men when that team goes into a low block, yeah, and don't have any interest in attacking. So when after that game, when people were going, couldn't even do it with 9 men. Well, no, you had 9 men in front of the goal. That makes it very, very difficult, and it becomes a game of patience. Patience. We eventually broke it down. But there's this belief from people that have never coached or played the game that don't get it. They think, oh, you've gone down to 9 men. We should score 4 or 5 now. That's not how it works.
We would have scored 4 or 5 if you were down to 9 men.
No, you wouldn't have, because we would have gone into a low block. But again, Husam, you see,
we're used to playing against low blocks. This is just my weekly life.
I think everything. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I'm giving you stuff that's happened in the game. I'm giving you stuff that's happened in the game, and you're telling me it's more difficult to break down. First of all, everything you just said is I think. You get me?
No, it's not.
Everything you just said is I think.
Tell me one thing I said I think.
So, don't act like I'm saying what I think and what you're saying is gospel. You're not saying gospel. You're saying I think, and I'm saying I think.
When did I say I think?
My I think versus your I think. One second.
When did I say it?
If you're telling me it's more difficult to break down 10 men, I agree.
That's
9 men. 9 men is completely different. 9
men's harder.
No, no, it's not. No, it's not. Any serious football club
Hassan,
at home.
Hassan, ask any
Can I just
coach.
speak? Any serious football club
No,
at
no, no,
home.
because you're like you.
If
Hassan,
this
you're
game was at Anfield and you
you're
went
a
down to 9
habitual
men, we
liar.
win 4-1. Simple
What?
as. If this game was at Anfield and you went down to 9 men, the game
But it
ends
wasn't.
4-1.
No, but
Now,
you
if
don't-
I want to, if you want me to go based on the fact, you want me to explain my opinion because it's my opinion, as you said. My opinion is Liverpool won the game. My opinion is based on
Sure,
when it
but
was
it's not
11.
fact.
1 second, let me tell you my opinion so you can rebuttal it. My opinion is when it was 11v11, we had 6 shots, you had 1. We nullified Madison, we nullified your whole team. You had what we call as football fans, you know, despite me not being a UEFA licensed coach, what we call empty possession, in which Spurs were passing the ball right and left 500 times without being effective with it. Liverpool got the ball in multiple counter-attacks, were a lot more effective. 6 shots compared to 1. Curtis Jones gets sent off. In my opinion, it's not a red, but it's okay if that's given as a red. I'm not going to moan over it. So the red's given. Now, after that game, even with 10v11, Liverpool still managed to score. And Liverpool still had the most dangerous chance of the game towards the end of halftime, where Salah played it into Diaz. Diaz had a tap-in and he missed
one's
it.
disputing that.
So even with 10v11, that happened. Then a perfectly onside goal was ruled off. And on top of that, the Premier League referee, the independent panel, comes out and says Diogo Jota shouldn't have been sent off. So a goal that I should have scored didn't happen. And I went from 10 to 9 because Premier League referees are incompetent and can't do their job properly. Okay, so I'm basing it on evidence from that game. And the goal that you scored at the end of the game, was a Matip own goal. Like, once again, that game did not disprove the fact that I would have beaten Spurs. You know, it
doesn't prove you would have beaten Spurs.
Based on that game, based on what we saw in that game, we would have won the game. Had it been 10v11, even we would have won the game.
Okay, but do you know the difference is? Hang on, sorry, Terry. I live in a world of reality where we can't just say, I think this would have happened. No one, have you noticed, you just turned around and said, you think. I've not said I think once. I'm saying to you, none of us know. I came on this show the very week after and said, you know, the difficulty with these situations is no one knows. The problem, like I hear all the time, if so-and-so had taken their chance, this would have happened. If that red card had been given, if this goal had been allowed, sure, but no one actually knows. Liverpool were my tip to finish second. I rate Liverpool highly as a very good football team. I've made that very clear to people, right? But the thing is, what you're trying to tell me, I get this, it's your opinion. And I know that the kids in the chat love it. They get that it's your opinion, but your opinion can't be proved.
We're here to discuss opinions.
Pardon?
We're here to discuss opinions. This is football content creation.
But the difference is, Sam, at the end of the day, no one knows what would have happened. If that goal had gone in, Spurs this season have been better when we've come from behind. No one knows. That goal could have gone in, come out second half. Postecoglou, we did this against Arsenal. Poor first half, second half, we were brilliant. And we should have beaten them. We could have done the same thing against you. No one knows. We could have been awful. No one knows. But all I'm going to say is, I've said this for years, for anyone that will listen. All these people that say things like, oh, we got down to 9, you should have battered us. Try playing against 9 men. Try playing against 9 men when they put every single person behind the ball. Liverpool had 3 centre-halves. You had 4 midfielders sitting in front. 3 midfielders sitting in front of 3 centre-halves and two fullbacks. It is very difficult to break down a calibre of Liverpool when that happens.